7 Armstrong. I've been at Corrigan for the last 26 years. And now I'm down here coaching offensive line, offensive coordinator.
Coach Norris Taff, starting my 35th, 36th year. Started back in '83, was in Cleveland for 16 years, 1 year in center, 4 years at Aldine Nimitz. Was here in Livingston, football 4, 5, and 6. Then I went to Tomball for 4. Then I came back to Livingston, 11 through 16. I was at Cleveland last year, and now I'm back here at Livingston, third go round, and I'm happy to be here.
Coach Vano, really we share a mentality, and thought it'd be a good fit. And he brought me in here to, let's get these linemen working and get them going off the football. And just try a different approach and see if we can't get these kids going forward.
We'll coach receivers, and the reason I'm here is Coach Vanover. I've known Coach Vanover for a while. He's a great man and a great coach. Kids play hard for him. They love him. And, like I said, this is my third time to be here. And Livingston just kind of feels like home. Although I grew up in Cleveland and coached there for a long time, I've coached at Livingston for a long time too. And I know the kids. A lot of the kids that I'm coaching right now, I coach their brothers. And they've grown up. And we got some good-looking kids here. And I just want trying to, what I tell people, try to get the average players play good, the good players play great, and the great players play exceptional. And that's what we try to do as coaches.
Oh, no doubt. These are the same kids I've been coaching for 26 years. I mean, we're just south, further south now in the county. But the kids are the same. They're hardworking kids, and it shouldn't be a problem at all.
I know a lot of these kids' siblings or brothers or sisters. I know some of their moms and dads, and I'm just comfortable here. They're great kids. They want to be coached. They're yes sir, no sir. And like I said, I just try to get in the kid's quality world. And before you can coach a kid hard, you got to get in this quality world and know that that you love him, not only as a football player but as a person. And just get to know some things about him that's not just football. And when you do that, then if you have to get on a kid, then it makes it a little bit easier. Not to get on a kid, but he won't blow up and go off, and they respect you. That's all we ask as coaches is just give us a little respect and we'll respect you.
Well, with that experience, you just kind of pick up some things over the years. And, as offensive line coach, I'm going to try to put that into the offensive line play. And, like I said before, we just get these kids going forward. Increase aggression, is a big thing with me. And, see if we can't take a step forward and let's get this program where we want it.
As receivers coach, we have some really talented receivers. And I think my job is just to kind of refine them and teach them some of the finer techniques about being receivers. And let's work on technique, route running technique, just little things, getting off jams, learning how to cut, learning how to catch and tuck, get upfield, learning coverages when they're playing zone, when they're playing man, just finer things like that.
Well, it's like I said, it's just continuing to work hard. These kids are working hard now. They got to believe in themselves, and the more, you almost hate to say the word, but in my offensive line, it's aggression. It's 100% aggression, and if we can get that aggressive attack mode mentality put into kids, they're going to learn how to be successful. And first, before you can be successful, you got to learn how to be successful, and that's what I'm hoping to bring.
It was definitely a wake-up call. The Cleveland I left back in '99 is not the same place it is now. It's a tough place and to play football, and I wish Coach Fiacco the best, and I know he'll do a good job. And but it's tough, no doubt. But you just got to play with the cards they've dealt you, and you can't go out and sign anybody off the waiver wire like you can in the pros. And but anyway, no, it's it is what it is, and you just gotta do the best you can in any situation, and same thing here, you know, just try to play and with the guys that are here and wanna be here, and coach them up. You know, just coach them up and get them to play to the best of their ability, and the main thing is to have fun, because it's a game, you know, it's our living, it's our profession, but you gotta remember, to a 16, 17, 18-year-old kid, it's just a game, and you gotta have fun. We gotta, you know, I tell the kids, we're gonna have to put you in some discomfort, you know, I mean, that's just, football in August is very uncomfortable here in Southeast Texas, but, you know, life is uncomfortable sometimes too, so, you know, football, like they say, is life, just like anything else, it's just part of life.
It's on a boat.
Yeah.
And really and truly, it's you know, we're totally different worlds, and we're combining it into one. And because we're gonna have power running game down here, but we're also gonna throw the football around a little bit. And, you know, it's both worlds combined is what it is.
Yeah, I agree with Coach Armstrong. I was always under the assumption, or not assumption, but my belief is you gotta hang your hat on something. And the first thing you do, you gotta rush the football, you gotta run the football. And you know, the game of football is won on the line of scrimmage. You know, if you can control the line of scrimmage, offense or defense, you're probably gonna win the game. You know, that's where the game is won. And, you know, those guys in the trenches, they don't get the respect, they don't get the pub. But, you know, I tell my receivers or my running backs, wherever I coach, if you score a touchdown, the first person you better go congratulate is your O-line. Because they're not gonna get their name in the paper, they're not gonna get their picture in the paper, but they're the ones that do the work. And that's where the game is won, is on the O-line, D-line.
You know, you don't have to be 6'6", 320-pound, be a good offensive lineman. It's about angles, it's about being in the right spot, taking the correct steps, and getting off the football. Make sure that you're in charge of contact. And, you know, once we make sure we're in charge of contact, we get our feet moving, we're gonna get better.
Now, there's 3 or 4 guys that are really talented kids. Willie Fagan, Julian Gardner, Chris Washington, Izzy, Enard, there's 4 guys right there. And the thing about receivers, you know, I tell them, hey, you know, there's one downer, that there's only one ball, okay? And I know you want the ball every play, and every time the ball is then thrown in the air, you want the ball. But, you know, you gotta be satisfied, you know, as long as we win, but, you know, I want you to want the ball, you know, and if you want the ball, you gotta get open. And you gotta, and you have to do your part, you gotta block too as a receiver. First thing a college coach is gonna look at a receiver, what does he do when he doesn't get the ball? What does he do when he's backside? Does he just, you know, loafing off the ball? Does he block when he's play side? You know, we can see what happens when you get the ball. Same thing with a running back. What do you do when you don't get the ball? Okay, do you block? Okay, and, you know, and so, you know, you gotta train those guys to be team players, because they want the ball every play. Every receiver in the game of football wants the ball every play.
It's just you know, right now we're in catch-up mode. You know, offensive line, we're doing a lot of lifting because they did miss so much lifting in the spring. We're trying to catch up and get back to the point where we need to be. Because sooner or later we got to line up with somebody, and you got to have the strength to do it.
Skill guys, you know, a skill guy, he's gonna be a little bit ahead in conditioning. They're not near as big. You know, those big linemen, it's tough on them, you know, running. But the skill guys, they'll catch up pretty quick. You know, we're already doing football skills for 45 minutes a day, which UIL has allowed us. UIL has allowed us to go on Friday. We can go 5 days a week instead of 4 days a week. So we gotta take advantage, you know, within the rules. So we do our fast camp for 2 hours, and then we go and do football drills for 45 minutes. And, you know, we're working on, you know, sport-specific drills, catching the, you know, you're not supposed to line up and run plays as 11-man unit, but you can run routes, catch the ball, and that's what we're working on. Technique, fundamentals, stance, start, footwork, stuff like that.
It starts with what we're doing right now. Kids got to be here every day. Yes, this place can be successful, because I've seen kids just exactly like this be successful. And, you know, it's just a matter of a commitment thing, being here every day, getting better every day, and making sure you put the work in so that you deserve to win. You know, and that's a big thing with me. You gotta deserve to win. They don't guarantee you're gonna win, but you can deserve to win. And you gotta put in the work to get there.
Same thing, it's a mindset, there's another saying, you gotta earn the right to win, you know. You can, you know, if you're gonna talk the talk, you gotta walk the walk. And that's the thing about football, you know, football doesn't build character, football reveals character. And that's what, I believe Darryl Roll said one time, former University of Texas coach. Football reveals character real quick. And it shows, you know, who are front runners and, you know, what happens when things don't go good. And that's the thing in football, there's gonna be some bad plays, and there's gonna be some good plays. It's easy to be on top of the world, be a front runner when things are going good, but how do you react? What is your character when things go bad? And it's a mindset, and it starts up front with the O-line and D-line, and it starts on offense with running the ball. If you can run the ball and be successful running the ball, that's gonna open up your passing game. That's gonna get those safeties creeping up, okay? That's gonna force them to put one more man in the box, have 8 men in the box instead of 7 men in the box. So now you got 3 guys in the secondary, all right? So, you know, it all starts with the O-line and D-line, and that's where it's at, you know. All these quarterbacks, running backs, receivers, you know, it don't matter. If you got Emmitt Smith and Michael Irvin and Troy Aikman, the triplets, if you don't have 5 guys up front, it don't matter. And that's why I know we're gonna be successful, because we got Coach Armstrong. He's one of the best O-line coaches in the state of Texas, bar none.
The thing about it is when you come to a new system, it's like learning a new language. You know, so I'm playing catch-up mode as a coach right now because I'm having to learn a different system. And, you know, you just try to learn it as fast as you can, you know, because you gotta teach the kids eventually. Right now, the kids probably know it better than I do. You know, they're just gonna learn, the first thing they're gonna learn is how I'm gonna approach it. You know, but, you know, right now the system itself, they probably know it better than me. But, you know, I'm in catch-up mode, and I gotta do my work every day also, you know, so that I'm ready to roll.
Same with me. I'm in catch-up mode. The lingo, the verbiage is always different every place you go. But you know, I've got the playbook, the digital playbook, and I just try and stay one day ahead of the kids. You know, and whatever we're working on that day, you know, if you got to write it down. And you know, right now we're working on our combination routes and our 1 through 8 routes. And so, you know, like Coach Armstrong said, the receivers, they know more about it than I do, but I know what we're gonna do that day. And so, you know, and kids are smart. They know if you don't know what's going on. Kids are smart, they're sharp. You think they're not, the kids are the same. There's just a little bit more technology in the world today, but kids are kids, and you know, in some ways, kids haven't changed. They know if you're genuine or not, and you can't pull a fast one on most kids. They can know if you're not genuine.